It's been a hectic week as we come to the second last day here on the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific Open 3 Touch Buddy, and today I have a new partner. It's gonna be Quack, the best quack of them all.
What, the best quack of them all? I think the games so far have been quite exciting. A lot of crazy plays coming out yesterday, but at the same time, is it really that hectic when we've only had our first full 3-mapper yesterday between NWJ and OGX?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised by the things that have happened in the tournament so far. We've had in-game stalking. We've had the hash-slinging slasher. What else do we see? We see a lot of sub-rosas. We've seen
I think that's
someone...
just smart plays, you know?
I've seen someone panic trying to... kill a dart. It's been pretty insane. That's all I can say. If there was a word to define Open 3, it is chaos. And on top of that, we have seen some brand new faces, underdogs who nearly took a spot away from a team that we thought was gonna make it cleanly. Regardless, as we come to. Yeah.
Deviant to pass. Not quite coming out of nowhere because they have been in the scene for quite a while, Toffee and the rest of them. But now under this team and then them actually making quite the run in this open, it's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, it is very fun to watch. But for you guys at home who don't know, this is the roadmap. This is how it's gonna go. So we're here on stage number 1 on open number 3, where there is a $10,000 prize pool per tournament, where we're gonna have 6 teams who are gonna be qualifying to elite. We already have our 6 teams, and Quack, was it what you expected?
The top few definitely what we've expected, I think, for all of us. Definitely you're gonna have the top few. But the following ones are really interesting because, it's kind of just great opportunities for everyone, especially for the game changer scene in APAC. And I think that's the most important thing here. But also the fact that everyone has kind of grown. I think that's always the story with game changers, is that with every single open that we have, whether it's open 1 or 2, and then of course maybe LCQ next, all the teams are still growing. They're always improving with every game that we have.
Yeah, it's very interesting how we see, but these are the teams that have qualified to this open rather. And Anomaly No Charms, I think while everyone thinks they're a new face, they're not. They were ex-Enigma Galaxy, you have Deep Topaz. They have been trying to get into the playoffs, and finally they have. And if you didn't know, Quack, this team only came formed fully last 2 weeks. So they are quite a new face here, but definitely putting up a challenge. So I'm looking forward to see them during LCQ.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, again, because with Valorant and the competitive 5v5 scene, it's really impressive when teams just get newly formed and they already have that much chemistry. And it's tough. In these opens, of course, you're always contesting with the big dogs for the big prize pool, Tash. Yeah. But at the end of it, still with LCQ, there's always a chance.
There's always going to be a chance. We had the interview with Ginny I mentioned a few days ago, where Ginny said that she didn't feel like she had proven herself or showed what they had to show on the big stage last year in Berlin. And they're vying for that spot one more time. But then we also have the story of the RRQ Kaguya girls, formerly known as AECL, who was, everyone thought they were gonna go to Berlin, but then last minute the spot was taken away by Fullsense Sapphire. So of course they want their redemption arc. And then of course there's SMG, the team that just found their dream team, the firepower coming forward. So that's also a story that I really want to see develop on this stage. And this is, I would say, the roadmap or the path that we've seen in the past few days, where now we're going to be seeing 2 matches in the upper brackets. We're going to be seeing SMG versus Fullsense Sapphire. I wouldn't be surprised if they were to meet each other in the grand finals. But at the same time, we're also going to be seeing RRQ versus OGX. For RRQ, they used to be always on the top brackets, but we're starting to see these 3 teams really fight for that first 3 spots.
That's definitely what's happening in the upper bracket that we see. We're diving in deep now because talking about all these top teams, it's these specific names: SMG, Fullsense Sapphire, RRQ, and yeah, I guess OGX as well. And they're always trying to fight for that spot. And I do think that it's really, really tough. The competition is always intense among these teams. You think about RRQ, right? And they used to be part of that alter ego Celeste core, maybe minus a Neri. But ever since last year, ever since those games, they kind of seem to have hit like some kind of mental roadblock. And if they can make their way through it, I think they'll be one of the stronger teams.
I think for RRQ and Open too, sometimes you think that they are the stronger team, but some teams after they go through reshuffle or, they lose a player, gain a player, it takes some time to develop this chemistry. And I think this is something that we saw from RRQ. They're looking definitely a lot better. And the same can be said about Fullsense Sapphire, because during Open 2, SMG felt so far ahead of the curve because of the intense firepower, the friendship and the bond they have, the chemistry rather, I would say, that really propels them forward. But then you look at OGX. In Open 2, I feel like they had one of the cleanest runs then. But now they also had a reshuffle as well. And it feels like they're trying their best to really restructure themselves, to really find a dynamic again.
Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky. But I mean, those are the games that we have today, right? I mean, starting things off already, it's spicy. You got SMG versus Fullsense Sapphire. And you know that one's going to be really, really intense. It's kind of basically the grand final. I'm kidding.
Yeah, sometimes
but then
it
afterwards,
can be.
Kind of, right? And then RRQ versus OGX, like you mentioned, some reshuffles, but then they always kind of have to find their groove, as it were. And I think that's the main thing for them today as well. They all have so much potential, and that's the main thing. I mean, you've hung out with some of them, Tash. Like, what's it like being in the same boot camp or room with some of these girls?
Right.
What are their personalities like?
So I did get to manage, did manage to visit the SMG girls during Open 2, and I think that visiting their facility, seeing them play together, they're very close. They even have drawings of each other. We don't talk about that, especially Alexi's
Not
drawing.
enough.
It's a bit scary to talk about. When you talk about SMG, they do have drawings. They're very fun to hang out with. They have very good bonds, but at the same time, I think that it's very important to talk about mindset, because this is something I highlight a lot about, because for SMG they have an in-house esports psychologist, and every day or every time before a match they have this routine. They sit down, they meditate for 10 minutes, they do warm-ups, they actually you have to get up and they have to jog and exercise in the same spot. And I think that this mindset keeps them in a way where when you are in high pressure situations, you are able to keep zen.
Interesting. So what I'm hearing is you need to touch grass, and then your games you'll find some W's in your games. Is that what it is? You have to jog.
They
you have to
exercise.
meditate.
No, they jog in one spot in their house. Okay, like star jumps and stuff.
Okay, so maybe not actually touching grass, but exercise.
No. Yeah. And I think it's good because, at one point I was talking to the psychologist and I said, does this actually help them at all? And he said, back then, before they started this routine, they were fidgeting, they were always worried. You could tell that they were high anxiety, high levels of stress. But then now, it seems like when they go into game, they're much more relaxed.
It's true. I do think that's a very good point, because it's a lot of these tiny things that I think most people don't really know about that helps make a team that good. And it's more importantly always the fact that you need to get yourself into that mental head game. And I think that's what we have today as well. I mean, for a team like Fullsense Sapphire, first of all, we already know how strong they are. We've seen them get to Game Changers Berlin last year, but then now back into this, they haven't quite clinched that first place spot yet because they're always blocked off by SMG.
Yeah.
But then again, we know how strong they are. I mean, it's such a well put together team. It's really balanced, and with the addition of Margot, who, by the way, used to be one of Aneri's teammates, I think they have a very good chance today.
I really think so too. I feel like for Fullsense Sapphire, coming to see them from last year to this year, I mean, last year it was like a last moment sort of coming into Elite for them. How many times did they try to get into Elite and they couldn't manage to? They had managed to get in at the last moment during open overtime before stealing it away from ECL. It felt so inconsistent last year, but this year, consistency is something that I'm seeing from Fullsense Sapphire. They're getting better and better with every open. Hell, we even saw them take a map away from SMG, and I still think that out of all the teams here during VCT Game Changers, I don't think anyone can really challenge Fullsense Sapphire on Lotus.
Oh, not yet. And that's why that's going to be one of the interesting things about today.
Yeah,
map
I'm
picks,
excited.
right? I mean, between these two teams, that's the main thing. Yes, they've already taken one map off, and this happened during the group stage too. So it really kind of inspires confidence in a lot of the Fullsense Sapphire fans, me myself as well, because they really have a good chance. That's the thing that happened last year was during the Elite Finals, right? These two teams and how they played, Ginny had such a good read that they actually countered Alter Ego Celeste. But that's why I want to talk about these two specific players today. I mean, when you're thinking about SMG, yes, it's a lot of firepower, but a big reason for their firepower is definitely their addition of a Neri, the star duelist, the crazy Reina queen herself. I mean, she's finding so many frags like this. Her headshot percentage is off the charts, Tash. But at the same time, who is the person on Fullsense Sapphire that can shut a Neri down? That's gotta be Baby TZ.
I think from last year all the way till now, Baby TZ on that Killjoy had really caught my eye. I think she's one of the most solid sentinels so far. A player that is, you can leave her on a site alone and she's gonna be able to buy you so much time. In fact, she will frag out maybe a duo or a trio kill before finally taking everyone down and her teammates have rotated around. And then, you know, on the flip side, you have a Neri, insane firepower, all about aggression coming through here. There are certain maps where it felt like a Neri did get, I would say, disabled by the enemy team. We saw that happen on Lotus. But then for a Neri, what makes it so good is that her teammates are there to supplement her. You're seeing a lot of support come through, whether it's gonna be from Alexi, whether it's gonna be from the flashes her teammates set her up for. It really does set her up for success. And speaking of successes, we're gonna look at the maps today. Now, if we noticed, Pearl and Bind will be picked for these two teams there. Pick's gonna be for Fullsense, it's gonna be Bind, and Pearl's gonna be SMG. Quack, what do you think?
I mean, already looking at it, right? First of all, it's interesting that Lotus was not picked despite the bans.
Exactly. I thought it was going to be a Lotus first by, at least Lotus picked by Fullsense. But I'm guessing Fullsense wants to make sure they don't get counter-stratted. That's my only guess.
Yeah, because that's kind of how the map veto looks. They're picking a lot of these maps that, you know, kind of play to some of their strengths, but at the same time, it's stuff that we haven't necessarily seen before. So they're trying to test something out. They're trying to bring us something new. And that's why we're starting things off with Pearl, which for SMG, I mean, they have played it quite a bit. They have an insanely strong win percentage, 94%. And it's just not going to be easy at all for Fullsense Sapphire, but it's a good thing that they're starting on a defense. Meanwhile, for Fullsense Sapphire, picking Bind against SMG, it's something that, you know, that's their best shot, because SMG doesn't have the best performance on this past map. In fact, it's one of the maps where Fullsense Sapphire took one off from the previous grand finals, right? So yeah. Maybe this is the story. Maybe we, you know, do what we can on Pearl. If we can do really well on defense, that'll be a solid start. If not, then, you know, your best bet's going to be Bind, and then the decider for Lotus. If SMG hasn't really fixed up their Lotus, man, Fullsense Sapphire might actually go to the grand finals today.
Yeah, and I mean, like, when you talk about how many maps they've played for Pearl, I think that we're gonna say, like, we've seen a lot of Pearl. I'm actually quite surprised at how many Pearl maps were chosen in this open, and it is understandable. While, you know, on the big stages, I think a lot of eyes were on the comp of the Viper and the Harbor, but we didn't really see this combination in specific for Game Changers. And honestly, Quack, I'm wondering why.
I mean, I think it's just a difference in their styles, and a difference in what they prefer. If you love going for a certain composition, Viper, Harbor, you could do it, but you think about Ascension, we also saw a lot of teams just going with one solid controller instead, and it all comes down to your competition and how you want to play against them. So I think for the current teams that we have right here at the very least, SMG, I mean, you know how they are. Mm-hmm. You know how they are. Insane firepower. Why not abuse that? And that's kind of what we saw against even Topaz just a couple days ago, right? Yeah. They went with one Harper, 3 duelists, and it kind of worked. I say 3 duelists, that's because I count Chamber as one of those. Yeah, true. But that's what they can do. But now you're playing against Fullsense Sapphire, so I think it's gonna have to be a different story. I'm expecting, like, you know, a Kohibi, actually, not really. A Neri Alexi double duelist. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, the main thing for Fullsense Sapphire is Baby TZ's anchoring.
Yeah.
Because she really has to shut down Inari in order for Fullsense Sapphire to, have a better run.
Not just an area. I think that's also to have something to worry about is Alexi. I think Alexi has had one of the better runs as well, this particular open, because when we saw her performance during their last Lotus game, I do not remember against which team, but when it felt like Inari was not performing that game. It wasn't because she wasn't performing, she was disabled so many times. She wasn't able to get that Reina dismiss going. So what exactly happened was you have Alexi on the flank, on the side, ready to trade. And I think this is a story for SMG because they have such good chemistry on how they move. There is if a team's gonna get a pick off on them, it's likely they're gonna get a trade. There's likely gonna be 2-3 people going down because of the insane firepower as well as their flick potential that could happen. But at the same time, on the other end, when we look at Fullsense Sapphire, because they're all about control and they are a team that do run that, I would say, the double controller comp, the Viper and the Harbor. I think that it does give them a lot of value when it comes to controlling the site, whether it be on attack or defense. So this is something that everyone has to watch out for. There is a reason why this particular comp works, why the big stages are using it, and I'm wondering what exactly can SMG do to break this comp? Because from what I've seen in GC so far, a lot of teams are preferring to come out through double doors toward B instead of just focusing on B main itself or A main itself. So let's see whether it's going to be the same thing today.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing to think about, right? Because you can exploit that mid presence, but at the same time, for a team like SMG, it's how quick they can go, how much firepower they have, how accurate they are with their shots. and on a map like Pearl, yes, definitely making use of places like Art, making use of B-Link is a very viable strategy. You're thinking about Fullsense Sapphire, though, and how they actually play around that. And that's why it comes down to that double control. It comes down to that Sentinel as well. And that's why, again, I always want to bring out Baby TZ right now. Because she has that extra map presence with how she can, make use of her utility. But also, the important thing about Baby TZ is not just the agent that she plays, it's her playstyle. She loves to go for operator picks at times, and that's the main thing. It's not just the fact that you have Inari, Alexi, a lot of duelists, Kohibi as well, right? And you also have the rest of them, Shirazi, Kamiyu. But the way that Baby TZ plays off, if you can get one opening pick on one of the star duelists of SMG, and then you just kind of taper back, hold back for a second, continue picking them off as they try to approach you, make use of your utility, buy time for teammates to rotate over. That's the game plan that I'm looking at. That's the strategy that they could use to take down SMG on this first map.
Regardless, I think we should really talk. I just want to talk more about Ginny and her IGL style as well. I think for Ginny, for a long time, she has been the IGL. I think she is like one of those players that, from her previous game all the way till now, she's always been. So it's basically in her blood. But regardless, we are going to be taking a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be seeing the first series of the day. So don't go anywhere. More VCT Game Changers APAC Open 3 coming right at you.
bench, coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench, coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench, coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench, coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, cause we about to get down.
We may have had a very long break, but that doesn't dampen our excitement for this first match that's about to happen today. SMG versus our next team, Fullsense Sapphire. Tash Bunny here alongside Quack, your panelist for today. And I'm really excited to say that this is the team that I think a lot of the viewers at home, the fans, really want to see. The top dogs, the battle of the titans.
I mean, 100%. It's always these two at the top, like one in first and second place. But that's the main thing, because while we always see a lot of firepower coming out of SMG, I mean, that's their whole story, right? Still moving under gunfire. I really do think that Fullsense Sapphire has a chance today.
They really do. I mean, for Fullsense Sapphire, as we were speaking about this before the break, Fullsense Sapphire is a team that is constantly improving over time. While last year it seemed a little bit more inconsistent for them coming forward, they are a team that I would say they would struggle to reach the top. That just makes them even more hungry. They did manage to steal the top spot away from AECL, or at least now known as RQ Kaguya. Now they want to prove more than ever why they deserve to be on top. As we go into our first map, Pearl, these are going to be our lineups, and we're going to be seeing SMGs. And I would say this is Team SMG's, I would say, final form.
You would say that this is Team SMG's final form?
Yes, I would really say this is Team SMG's final form. Because if you saw in the previous matches, it felt as though Team SMG was able to take advantage of a double duelist perhaps, or a triple duelist. But we didn't see this sort of, I would say, really clean set play until this particular match against Fullsense Sapphire.
Yeah, I do think that based off the agent composition, right, for SMG, now they're picking this Viper Harbor combo. In fact, it is a full mirror matchup because this is what Fullsense Sapphire plays as well. There's a slight, I guess, mix up in the graphic right now. It's SMG on the attack and then Fullsense Sapphire on the defense. But the main thing is still the fact that actually these compositions have been played before. We've seen them so much on the big stages, but right now in Game Changers, I think this is one where Fullsense Sapphire is a little bit better practiced, a little bit better rehearsed on. We just haven't really seen that this composition really played out on an official match yet with SMG. We don't know. They might have scrimmed this before.
Yes.
The one thing that we have seen is that they have played the Viper Harbor, except with a double duelist in the group stages against Orangutan X, and on that game they won 13-7. So although it is always with SMG and how much firepower they have, right? I think in that game Alexi went 26 kills, plus 13 overall KD.
Yeah.
Again, I come back to Baby TZ from Fullsense Sapphire and how she's able to shut down some of these duelists from SMG.
That's right, but at the same time, we also have to look at Kohaibi as well. It feels like for SMG, having Kohaibi, I mean, previously she was playing the Chamber, and now she's moved to a Killjoy. Killjoy gives a little bit more, I would say, control of the site, given the fact that she has a lot of utility for her alarm bots with her turret, as well as the lockdown, which is why it's preferred over the Chamber. While we did see raw firepower coming from SMG with the triple duelist per se in the previous matches, I think that comes from confidence, understanding where they stand compared to the other teams. But you start to see that and understand that against Fullsense Sapphire, they have to be a little bit more careful. They have to play a little bit more set play, because they understand the only team that could really break the firepower they have or counter-strat them will be Fullsense Sapphire.
Right. But then it always comes back down to how we're starting out this map, and that's what we need to focus on right here, Tash, is the fact that Fullsense Sapphire are starting out on the defense. So they need to find these opening picks against SMG. We need Baby TZ to have that strong defense.
Yeah, Baby TZ on that strong defense is what I'm really looking for. And that is exactly what we're going to be seeing as we go into our first map of the day, Pearl SMG versus Fullsense Sapphire. Gonna toss it over to our casters, Dax and Black and Blue. Please, no puns. Thank you very much.
Okay, no puns, all business. Sure, we'll go with it, Sash. And the thing is, I get
Yo,
it because...
wait, are you hating on the fun of my pun?
Oh,
Tosh, you cannot start this morning like this when we got a great big game coming up ahead. You're killing the vibe.
Yeah, Black and Blue woke up on a very interesting side of the bed today, but we know that there is a lot of weight right now coming into this first matchup. The upper bracket finals, the matchup that was promised, and of course the contenders to the crown yet again. Interesting enough, we begin where it all ended last Open. We're gonna start things off on Pearl, and it's SMG versus Fullsense Sapphire. Daxi with Black and Blue. And come on, man, I know you're excited for this one. This is really pretty much the pinnacle of APAC Game Changers.
I mean, this is potentially a preview of what could be our grand final for this Open, and not just this Open, arguably this entire year. We're looking at Elite, and these are two teams who are the current top seeds of making it into, you know, the champs at the end of the day. And for Fullsense Sapphire, the team that has accomplished that feat, the team that has gone the distance, has represented APAC internationally, and they're going up against a team who's looking to take that crown away. So former queens and the current ones are trying to reign. These are what you look at between these two teams, and there's a reason why they're touted as some of the best of the best.
Yeah, the defending champions team SMG, 2 crowns already through the 2 Opens. On the other hand, you mentioned it, Fullsense Sapphire, back then when they were Extend Sapphire, they took that APAC slot away and they represented the region to, of course, international competition. But this is looking so very exciting right now. I do believe, though, it will be Fullsense on the defense to start things off. It's Team SMG on the attacking side. And 2 key notes right now to take away. First things first, it's SMG mirroring Fullsense Sapphire on the composition, like our panel mentioned. And second, Shirazi is back. Tower did an incredible job in the first few rounds here in the upper bracket, but this is the starting 5 we expect from Team SMG.
Well, these are very, very capable teams. Let's not forget that throughout the last Open 2, it was only Fullsense Sapphire to be able to take maps away here from Team SMG. Can they do so once more here in this upper final series? B-Link seems to be their opening option here from Fullsense, but the pick, Muffin goes down early.
Yeah, Shirazi, welcome back, and there's a shot onto one, and Eri on the board as well, and SMG quickly onto the side. You know the Blitzkrieg is the answer here for SMG as much as possible. Heavy-handed approach to make their way towards B, and it's 3v2 already. Spikes down. Camille, though, the timing can't be perfect, and it's Paulie and Baby TC unaware of those sidelines. SMG takes the pistol.
Yeah, do not be confused by the graphic. It is SMG on the attacking side. They're on the red on the defense here, being Fullsense, but you can see the way that SMG able to overrun on the attacking side, pushing on through from that B link. They get the opening pick as well. The fact that, you know, they're able to drop Muffin there on the defense as she tried to front kind of the majority of the push just made it a much more, I guess, difficult case of winning out that fight, of getting a pick off in their stead. And so Fullsense, they're the ones right now looking to play catch up.
Fullsense, they're gonna go for the full eco right now. And something the panel did talk about, this has been the adjustment for Fullsense Sapphire coming into Open number 3. They changed things up compared to the last time around they played on Pearl in the previous tournament. And looking at some of the stats, actually, as far as I know, the only losses Fullsense Sapphire has taken on this map has been against Team SMG. Everyone else, absolutely crystal clear victories. Can they finally face those demons and exercise them? Turreto, hitting the intel. We're going for this A side here, Black and Blue. And Eric Force leading the charge alongside Camu as well as Kohai B. Plant goes down, Alex gets one. There's still the dugout position here from Paulie. Looking for the timing. Spikes down. It's 5v4 for now, and high tide there. Maybe if they can get close enough here for Fullsense, they can be at least lethal with the pistols. The Cove now gonna break down soon. They're waiting for the timing, and Neri's there to cascade into play as well. Finally, Neri gets takedown. And Neri with 2 even, and SMG follow on suit. A bit of damage done here by Fullsense, but in the end, it's SMG again.
SMG so far looking pretty swell. You know, this map Veto Dax doesn't work too well either. Here coming on in for Fullsense Sapphire, I think, is they touched upon it a bit, but one other point to add upon to what the panel was talking about is the fact that Fracture is one of the more common bans nowadays here for SMG, but Fullsense, it's one of their better maps, and they don't get to play it simply enough because of SMG not wanting to play that. That said, though, it was Fullsense Sapphire who did ban out Fracture the last time they faced each other in Open 2 Grand Finals. Does that change anything now? We're gonna have to see.
Look, Fracture has been the permaban of SMG, basically. Honestly, the bans that we have right now, they're pretty much clear-cut what these two teams have been removing into the map pool. And SMG, can they get anything done now with the lesser buy situation? Of course, this is their bonus. They also have the Blade Storm available, so Inari, if she can be explosive, that can be the opening they need.
Yeah, this can definitely be something that can turn things around here. The Guardian, the Vandal, might not have that in too much quantity, but it can still be very deadly if they aren't careful, especially if somebody at the helm of it, like Shirazi or Alexi, 2 sharp shots that can certainly turn around the round a lot quicker than you'd expect. A site is where they're looking to post her up. The alarm bot should give away their intentions, but not that the Trailblazer hasn't already. And the amount of utility they have there to stall will help the defense rotate in time.
Yeah, Fullsense, Sapphire. The linchpin of their defense is about them still being able to contest these kind of pushes. But since the setup Kamayu allows the faster and safer entry, it now leads to contact here. 4v4 as Baby TZ only gets 1, anchoring down towards dugouts. Still, it's always SMG backing away to try and play towards Link. There's also a flank here, courtesy of Alexi right now. And the pinch possible for SMG as Inari is looking to draw blood and draw the attention away. Alexi gets 2. Perfect timing so far from Team SMG yet again. Muffin fighting on back. Labras right now to provide some cover, but Alexi is in position. Muffin trying to go for more, but Kohabi finds Bolly. Here comes Muffin yet again. It's 1v2 now. Low HP, difficult for Muffin. She has to evacuate as SMG will win the bonus.
Yeah, complete scramble here on the site as SMG. A third goes their way. And Inari just being such a nuisance there, getting the immediate trade-off towards the dugout with those blades. We talked about the few weapons that they had. That's more than enough to really cause a problem. These Spectres up close can definitely be deadly. You see there the trade-off on the Baby TZ. Alexi especially, the sole Vandal that they had. They call it a Hero Vandal for a reason, and she certainly shined above.
Look, despite Team SMG bringing out this composition only now, they've been rocking a lot of different comps actually on Prolo for the past year. But it does seem like they're just so attuned to it anyway. And every time we see Kamayu and Shirai set things up, it's always Inari using that space to full value. And now with lurk potential from Alexi, perhaps Kohabi as well, helping out that midline, it's looking very much so practice here for Team SMG. So any concerns that SMG wasn't ready to play double wall, well, right now, it's looking pretty clean for them.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? They swap into this composition that Fullsense definitely has more experience in, at least officially, on record. But I don't think that's going to really hamper SMG too much. They're just way too good. Way too proceeded how they play. Inari, no problem at all, finding the one, and the follow-up as well from SMG is it's only Ginny to really get something going here. They got the Harbor to try and buy them some time, try and at least make it a bit more uncomfortable for the attacking side of SMG, but ultimately enough, they're more than welcome to push on in and get the plant off.
Yeah, they got the intel too, courtesy of Alexi. Kohabi now fighting Volley as well, and it's 4v2 along the way. SMG right now, the plant yet again putting themselves in a good spot. And I've noticed so far in this game alone that Inari getting value with her entries. If you remember the grand finals from Open 2, the win condition for Fullsense was to shut down Inari, make sure that she wasn't finding that impact. This time around, SMG is playing protection, at least going for those kind of trades. It's a lot safer from what we've seen from Team SMG so far.
Yeah, they know that kind of taking these risks, half measures, can certainly be punished, especially by a team like Fullsense that we've seen be one of the best at doing exactly that, right? You can see here, like Ginny, you give her just a momentary second to play off contact with a mere frenzy, and it wasn't even that close of a range. She can definitely connect those shots and suddenly get a pick off herself. Luckily, though, obviously SMG just in a much more preferable state economically, and that leads them to being able to continuously get these rounds. And if you're Fullsense Sapphire right now, I don't think this is a bad timeout at all. We see a lot of coaching staffs or even captains kind of be a bit more worried about calling a timeout early, because then you don't have one maybe for the latter stage of the second half, of the first half rather. But I think it's better to kind of nip the bud at the stem before it starts to grow.
Yeah, might as well, because you can see for Fullsense Sapphire, they have an idea on how to counteract Team SMG. They just can't execute past the high tide as much as they would like. As soon as the wall drops, it really feels like SMG is so much more in position for the angles. You see it from Inari, you see it from Alexi, you see it from Kohabi, and from that point on, when you know Team SMG is looking this sharp, you really have no time to barely react. You need to be absolutely on points when you're facing off against Team SMG and Fullsense Sapphire. The wake-up call might have come from that timeout.
Fullsense, you said a wake-up call. Well, I can certainly remind you.
Yo! Good morning, by the way.
That there's a job to be done today.
Yes, we
It's a
started
Fullsense.
earlier today, guys. Black and Blue didn't not notice, but now he is. Now he's
You
here.
don't gotta call me out like
Yeah, I'm gonna
that.
call you. I had to call you, basically.
You did call me. Thank
Hey,
you very
look,
much.
look who's calling the operator, though. 911,
Yep.
this might be emergency. Muffin, she's ready to watch out for B-Long especially, so it's dangerous for Shirazi. Perhaps.
Dangerous for Margot.
That's fine. Tatsu, and oh no, she's on the corner. There, he spots her out quickly, but Margot! That's a big shot to begin with. Fullsense Sapphire, exactly what they needed. Remove an area from the equation. This will force the SMG rotate and perhaps even into the arms of Muffin. She's ready yet again. We've seen her hit stellar shots from this angle before. A great guiding light from Alexi. Even better with the shot. What a chase from Alexi.
Why?
Here comes the reckoning as well. Margot still with a hold towards Link. It's 4-2-3 right now. Ginny onto the corner. Shirazi with that takedown. And it's all up to Alexi right now getting these kind of kills. But Margot! Well, that is just a magnificent from her. Left now to Alexi. What can she do in a 1v2 slate? She made this opening happen. But she's running out of time to work with. Difficult now. Margot still towards Link. You also have
10
Baby
seconds
TZ
left.
trying to set up a bit of a crossfire. Shots do ring. It's gonna be intel here quickly for Fullsense. Alexi with 3. He's playing safe, and Margot will get the job done. Fullsense Sapphire, finally, they get around.
She almost got that shot off too there, Alexi, but I thought Margot was in danger towards B-Link. Never mind. She's the one who knocks. She is the danger. And Margot, the fact that she was able to hold on to this B-Link gave him the one power point that they needed to be able to pivot and have the defense actually chime off and play off of what she was doing here. The small blunder as well from Muffin. You kind of heard me go, like, why? As she backed off into the left side there of back hall instead of just continuing on their path, which would have been a lot safer. I guess she thought the toxic screen would have given her the concealment to do so, but obviously Alexi's able to shut that down. They do not save the operator as Shirazi's lurk here, finding Muffin early once more. And Muffin, she's been going down quite early. I mean, that's natural as a duelist, but it can't be too often.
Yeah, and we've seen from Muffin, she's actually really strong at anchoring down that B site. If you remember their past games on Pearl itself, she plays by back hall, she plays by pillar, and from that point on, she's able to use those long angles. So this time around, it's SMG denying Muffin of that value that we expect from her. Ginny over onto the corner as well, very committed. She's gonna need assistance from Margot if ever. The forces of SMG knocking on their doors. And there we go, Jaime looks the cross, but they line up for her. 2 with the Bulldog, absolute value. 3v3 for now. The flash yet again, keeping Margot at bay. The Seekers are there too. Alexi with the value, there's the utility. The peek comes, but Shirazi can't hit the shot. Kamiyu instead with the trade. It's 2v2 now. So SMG gonna get the plan going. A bit of protection thanks to the Cove. It's all about the CT angle. Here comes Polly. Here comes Baby TZ. But Alexi already finds the one. The cascade is there. And it will also lead the collapse of Fullsense. Kamiyu with 3, and it's 5 now for SMG.
Nice recovery here coming from SMG ever since kind of like the get-go of the round, right? Shirazi with a pick off and Margot, rather than Muffin. Wow, Ginny was able to put up a good fight here towards B-Long side of things. So does Margot, who have been really showing up so far in this opening map number 1. It ultimately just doesn't do too much as SMG a lot more, I guess, composed in those situations where you'd think they would be set into a scramble. They lose 2 towards B-Long, but now they just deal with it and continue on with their plan. And you can see that here once again, here towards this B site. SMG not being dissuaded from trying it again.
Yeah, just like a prescription right now for SMG. If ever you're in trouble, if you ever have headaches provided by Fullsense Sapphire, just take an Alexi and call it a sight. She's been incredible at the clear so far, especially towards B. The guiding lights have been essential to provide that intel, provide that space for SMG to work with. I like the Contesto this time around for Fullsense. They're waiting for the wall to drop. They're also looking to set up the Viper's Pit if ever. The turret's there though, maybe could provide a bit of intel. Cascade into play, but the disengage called by SMG early.
Yeah, Viper's Pit forces him away. smart initially by SMG, by the way, to go towards that B site. They know long range, those rifles definitely do help. The Viper's Pit can make him rotate, and now this makes it so that they don't have to worry about the Viper's Pit towards A, where it could be a lot more potent. And Muffin, she's got her blades, and if there's a time for her to show up, now should be it.
Everything's backing on her to
30
get value
seconds
here
left.
because that's not just 2 but 3 ultimates utilized by Fullsense. Sapphire on an equal round already. The push comes to shove, and there he's there. Alexi on the board as well. Muffin only gets 1 before she's felled, and it's already the advantage here from SMG. Plant looking to go on down. High Tide's there too, and Margot now being contested by 2 along the way. Ginny looking for any kind of opportunity towards the side. The Cove is there yet again, but here we go. Sightline found by Kohaibi. SMG again and again, knowing the angles to play with. Polly on the board, but that's all Fullsense will get from that point on. SMG now make it 6.
Clean, relatively enough. I mean, obviously, Muffin able to get a pick off. That's the one she needed to get value out of those blades. From the dugout, updraft as soon as she hears the tap of the spike. Gets the one, but there's just no way to win against those rifles when SMG are so on point, so sharp, and they keep those blades honed. And that's what's been the problem here for Fullsense. Blunted at every single swipe of the alley. Nobody's letting them pass.
Yeah, it's just so difficult right now for Sapphire to find their footing. SMG, classic performance with the overpower, and case in point, Alexi yet again. Her A game here with those kind of peaks and shots. The flash comes on in, and Neri looking to dare push towards Connector. And Neri, Alexi coming on in. There's the trade yet again. Advantage still here for SMG as they navigate now towards that B side. High Tide being set up yet again, at least to cover up perhaps the high ground there. Pauly though, I like the corner she's playing. Perhaps she can find value if ever SMG dare cross through Link. Kohaibi getting utility back. There's also still Shirazi on the lurk as well, looking for the timing. Now contested, but Camu will be the victim. Pauly now finding the shape of victory. It's 2 on the board. Ginny's there too. And Fullsense Sapphire, this is better on the defense. Labyrinthian, it's a maze that Alexi needs to get the hell out of. She gets 3, but Pauly does so as well. And there's the second for Sapphire.
It was a stake in the grass there. And every single shot, every single frag she found in that round, so clean. Opening one towards B-Link, moves and repositions, changes the angle towards that long on the pillar, and then follows up obviously at the end. Her and Ginny playing that crossfire perfect. You see her get the one, isolate the fight towards Long, and while doing that, it allows Ginny to simply follow up on anybody being too hasty. With Kohaibi going down towards that pillar towards B-Long, it just allowed now Pauly to do whatever she wanted. And Fullsense Sapphire, it's a good recovery again for a second round. They still have this Reckoning, which they haven't used for a few rounds now.
Yeah, it's so difficult for them to find the timing, especially as SMG can quickly spread their way towards the site. Seekers, though, into play, and there yet again, looking to be enabled by Alexi. The mid taken quickly by SMG. You can see as soon as Fullsense seeds that to Team SMG, they take Connector, they use that to pivot, and they're looking to regroup towards Art instead.
I think Fullsense Sapphire, though, readily okay to give up this connector control. They know that it doesn't really matter if they have that connector, at least in the grand scheme of things, as long as they hold on to a different power position, maybe be long or aim A.
Oh, no.
But they're getting flanked. No real even info that was coming, and Pauly just unaware of what was coming her way. Muffin gets a trade off on the Shirazi, an indirect trade, but a trade nonetheless. That gives him the side control, and the spike is just so far, it's gonna actually waste a bit more time, allow the defense to get within the site.
Yeah, that's a big
30
pick,
seconds
especially
left.
it stalled SMG and their approach. They go for the lockdown, but only now do they get the spike planted. And as Muffin goes back to Ginny to get a band-aid for her boo-boos. At the regrowth, keeping her topped up now to fight back. Lockdown into play on the high ground. 4v4 for the time being. As SMG do their respective. Kohaibi, unexpected position on the inside. Doesn't matter if she's detained, she got the job done. Baby Kizzy though on the board. There you go with a second casualty. Fullsense striking back. Killer now. The only bit of cover here for SMG. Cammy though, a dance of death. And the Reckoning is there too. Keeping Fullsense on their toes. Ginny, Muffin, what else can they do? The push now, courtesy of Ginny. A bit of bob and weaving yet again.
Oh,
Tries
he's
to go
playing
for the
so well.
wraparound now. Cameo 7 HP. Fights back. Isolates one.
No time.
Buys time. And there is no time. Fullsense had to go for the chase. And because of it, it will be SMG who comes out ahead.
Huge round and clutch here coming in from Cameo. And the fact that Kohibi was able to take down Margot first there on the retake attempt made so that they just didn't have the Reckoning to utilize anymore. Could have cleared out that back call and then used the Reckoning for long, but it was looking so well until it wasn't. 1v3, and Cameo starts off with a pick on Ginny, lets the rest of the two come on up, and other players, after popping that Reckoning there in the 1v2 in Cameo's spot, they try and go for a peek, try and get a kill, as they were kind of set into a scramble for the Reckoning, but no, she knew she could buy time, and with both of them go in the same direction, simply playing a game of hide and seek. I'm on the other side of the table.
She played Ring Around the Rosie, and, well, pocket full of posies there over on pillar. Just a quick little encircle, and that's already a check mark for SMG. Ego round right now for Fullsense Sapphire, and while we have this time, I do feel like, well, for Fullsense Sapphire, the linchpin of the defense relies on Margot and Polly. Usually we see the big step-up plays from Muffin, big step-up plays from Baby TZ, and it's just not happening right now compared to what we've seen so far from them on Pearl. So Sapphire, they really need to wake on up right now. They're facing off against Team SMG, who just does not let up. If they sense weakness, they will take the advantage. And here they go, taking the side away already. And Neri on the board, Kohibi's there. Quick transfer from Kohibi too. Clean approach from SMG. They send Neri in, and the rest of the team follows suit.
Yeah, no real chance right now for Fullsense on this round. It's not like they're going to burn the Reckoning here. Would be very ill-advised. Good one here. Polly driving in on the fight. Kohibi are third, and Shirazi finally gets that off the Viper's pit. 8-2. I know this map is attacker-sided, but SMG are just starting to run away with this, especially as this map has been one of their most really terrifying for any other team to come up against. Not the same statistic nor history could be said necessarily for Pearls on Fullsense.
What an understatement. Have you seen the stats of Team SMG, man? This is a fun fact that I realized looking at their year. The only map losses that they've really had so far have been given to them by Fullsense Sapphire. And one map that hasn't happened yet in their history, especially the past few opens, it's Pearl. So it really goes to show that this is why Team SMG picked up this map. As far as I know, it's Pearl picked by SMG, Bind picked by Fullsense instead. Hopefully we'll get confirmation on that later on. But with this kind of approach, especially, and they're so confident with these kind of peaks, it's just such a different kind of look from SMG right now. And Neri's always assistant. If she falls, she is traded. If not, she continues on. Muffin, though, the operator's there on the other side at least, making it now 4v3. And exactly that, SMG with the advantage.
I mean, it's the only map that Fullsense Sapphire haven't been able to take away from them. Sapphire have won on Split in the past here against SMG. They've taking down them as well on Haven, but a map like Pearl, flawless since the turn of the year, since the turn of the tide. Speaking of those tides turning, no more Reckoning for them to utilize in this round. Baby TZ though equalizes up, gets the one, backs off safely as well, and buys time before the plant goes down.
Yeah, Baby TZ been strong in that dugout position. Kohibi in trouble, and Baby TZ will dare peek it anyway. Two from Baby TZ, exactly the performance we expected from her instead. Cameo, Lexi, what else can they do? Look to hold the corners, close contact is the answer. The flash comes on in though, and Fullsense looking for the advantage. Baby TZ, there's the 3! And exactly what Fullsense needs in this scenario. Here comes Muffin and Baby TZ too. 3 now, the answer here for Fullsense. Well, it's brutal when Baby TZ gets that hot into a round.
Yeah, it's a Baby TZ round right there. Just continuously being a thorn in their side. Getting the first pick off here as they try an entry towards the A main side. They try and stick the plant as well. Kohibi, rather the alarm bot, through it, and she just gets a quick peek off. As well as obviously to take down Cameo in the end. So Baby TZ, everybody here from Fullsense Sapphire having their individual kind of step-up rounds. You see it from Polly, we saw it from Baby TZ just now, and Margot a while ago. And it's coming to these dire strengths. Entertaining, but how sustainable will it be?
I think that's the problem right now. This isn't what we expect from Fullsense Sapphire. This is a team that plays as an absolute unit, that plays off opportunity created by one another. And how have they been getting these rounds on the defense where they usually suit their playstyle? It's been individual heroics instead. So at least there is a saving grace, a chance right now to make it 4-8 coming into the end of the first half. The operator's still alive for Muffin, so that's going to be a problem if ever SMG goes B. Because of it, they move towards A instead. Options limited by the Viper's Pit. They're looking to walk into the setup of Baby TZ as well. Watching Paulie though, keeping an eye out towards mid, and Neri, of course, the first point of contact as per usual. Nano Swarm preventing her from pushing the high tide to provide cover. Baby TZ, she already wants to put down the lockdown before anything else.
Yeah, lockdown's gonna be a problem, and Neri trying to push the envelope here. You can see they're about to push through this as well. Pop. Oh, they should be able to get that destroyed. Oh, Alexi finally backs off, but they get the job done here. Pick off as well on the fallback under retreat. Ginny gets a trade.
Very surprising that Fullsense actually wasn't keeping tabs on it. And in the end, it still is Alexi getting value. Goodbye to the Insane, goodbye to One, and it's 4v4 for now. Margot here looking to get in position. The Cove is there for a bit of cover. The Clouds block, hating that vision, but there's the spam into the kill, and Neri already with two so quickly. Go Ivy alongside her, and that's his classic SMG. In a blink of an eye, they will just deny anyone from going for this retake. It's 9-3 at the end of the half.
It's very, very spectacular the way that they're able to continue this lead even further here, SMG. Lesser by nobody really marking that lockdown. I think you can tell that they were expecting some sort of push, but just weren't able to put the protocols to stop that from happening. But what we can never stop from happening is the inevitable force. That is our panel.
Thank you very much, and what a game. I think Quax is just losing his mind, because honestly, I think for all of us, we were expecting a more even match between these two teams, but the firepower that we're seeing for SMG is still at an all-time high.
I mean, so much of it was just heads-up duels towards the B site. You see how Alexi goes in, tip of the spear, finding so many of these duels. I mean, even in some of these rounds, I think around like 6 or 7, where Fullsense Sapphire won their first defensive round, they actually almost lost it when Alexi just kept pushing in to find frags.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Alexi pushes, and I think we were talking about it earlier about how Alexi is not afraid to push out from the high tide to take up space, and it's because she's able to flash out and they're able to just push in together to get those picks. But also another reason that you highlighted during the break, was during the game, was the fact that a lot of the time SMG kept marking where Baby TZ was.
Yeah, I mean, you could see in a lot of these early rounds, it's a lot of default holds, and they kind of just slowly approaching a single site. If they get a pick, you know, they might rush into B, but most times they're trying to avoid that anchoring potential, that killjoy player that is Baby TZ from Fullsense Sapphire. You rush down Muffin, you rush down the rest of the gang. Maybe a couple of rounds where I think Ginny was trying to hold off an off angle in the corner of B long, but at times still, as long as they can take down some of these early players, SMG often gets the site. They get the spike down, and it's just so darn strong. I mean, as we move over on the second half, it comes down to how Fullsense Sapphire starts off the pistol. They need it so bad, Tash.
They really do, and 9-3, the curse isn't going to happen. Let's toss it over to our casters. Dax, Black and Blue, the curse, is it real or not?
The only curse I believe in is the Tash Bunny Tech Phosphorus curse, okay? That's all.
I thought it was another curse regarding a similar Tosh Rabbit, but not this one.
Oh, well, at least now, you know, our panel's incredible from both Pacific as well as watch parties. Now they're here joining us, and we are joined, of course, yet again by Fullsense Sapphire as well as SMG. Quack mentioned it though, the pistol round is absolutely essential right now. Fullsense Sapphire, they need to set that tempo, they need to get back with a bit of momentum coming into this game. And if Muffin can find those kind of openings, at least contest versus Ineri and Alexi, that could be a chance for them. Here we go again, the front line already meeting each other so very quickly. Trailblazers there too, but SMG disengages so far.
Well, at least he's able to back off safely here, Ineri. Otherwise been a bit more dangerous for either side, really, but more so for the defense of SMG. Fullsense Sapphire, initial idea met with another unmovable object there towards A main, which now makes him second guess and want to go towards his B site. Although, with Polly making contact here early, that will set kind of an alarm to the defense to start shifting a bit closer towards B, and it's gonna go very wrong very quick for Fullsense.
Yeah, Kohibi, Shirazi, they're already prepared for this. And a guy named Light now to look for an opening. Flash is there. Keeping Fullsense, a semblance of control.
What?
But Shirazi through the wall even! Who cares about the smoke? She knows where they're coming from. And it's all SMG now. Kohibi still at the ready, 6 HP, and the Dream's still alive. Baby TZ fighting on back, but Kohibi again and again with a can-do attitude. 10-3 as SMG. What was that?
Dude, that was the wildest spray I saw, with the best result to come of it, with a darn ghost as well. Look at this. It's almost like she knew 1, 2 directly on both heads. Perfectly done here from Shirazi, letting it rain, letting it sparkle. And SMG are just looking to run away with these SMGs.
What did we just witness from SMG from time to time? The unbelievable made possible. And Sapphire absolutely shaken. You knew that it was going to be a bit of trouble, but not like that, right? And on the anti-eco, SMG play the aggressors. Alexi and Eri, here we go yet again. What's new, Scooby-Doo? It's 2 already in the front line again. 3 for Alexi, and then Eri as well chipping in at the end. 11-3, so quick and so easy for them.
Might have ended as quick or even quicker than it started. The countdown for the round, the 30 seconds, is even longer time of a wind-up than the actual cooldown of that round was. But, I mean, what can you do here as Fullsense, right? They just got your number, they know to take the fight, and they're always just so much more coherent as a team, and executing those ideas becomes such a difficult task to take him down. But this is the round, this is the linchpin. They lose this round, we should be looking at map number 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Unless Fullsense Sapphire can get a 30 win later on. There's still a chance. Rifles at the ready. And I'm looking forward to what Muffin and Ginny can do to contest against Ineri and Alexi. As of right now, just the aggression courtesy of the SMG frontline. It just hasn't been answered all throughout this game. It always has gone down to the clutch here for Sapphire. Main being pushed by Fullsense as well. Camu, the anchor right now, holding on to the side. Kohibi watching the art as well. Perhaps a bit of help from Blink. But a dash in from Muffin. Space here made by Fullsense. Kohibi gets one before anything else. Ginny with the trade. But already, Fullsense Sapphire feeling the pressure. Plant goes down. It's 4v4. A flank possible too.
Well, Fullsense Sapphire, they should have the weapons here to try and just cement their might, but the flank's gonna be a problem. Look at the flank here, coming on in. The shot doesn't connect initially. Alexi follows up. Margot as well doing the same, more on the site itself. Shirazi too low to actually put up a good fight here. And Alexi, they know where she is. She's isolated, gets the one. Has got Seekers to pop. Will she actually use it? Doesn't seem to be the case. Still unaware of where Polly is. They double up. She knows now, and no chance as well with them beating down. Fullsense at least get the round, but you can see SMG with lesser weapons always putting up a fight.
Yeah, they make it costly, right? At the very least, only a few rifles to be held by Fullsense now. They're gonna have to invest yet again when their money situation isn't even the best. And just SMG so active around the map. Always, always, always. It's a tandem that is a threat. Alexi and Neri together with the push. Alexi, 22 takedowns overall in this game so far. She's been so stellar at playing off whatever contact and Neri creates for the team, and then continuing on from that momentum. But at least Fullsense, they had something to work with. They had a stellar hold from Link especially, and they have rifles still to work with. Perhaps for Fullsense, that's enough for them to find those openings, get rid of the player on site, and then move on to play post-plant instead.
Poison orb emitting.
Well, we have to see where this game starts to go in the first place. If
Poison's off.
Senses can start to string some rounds together, we could actually have a map on our hands. But right now, it's looking pretty far out of reach. That doesn't mean to say it's impossible at all. It ain't over just yet. But here comes a B split. Fullsense Sapphire execute, really banking on this round. They take this, the economy could be theirs, but Shirazi on that backside is going to prove to be a problem once more.
Yeah, Shirazi stonewalling Margot from this point on. And it's 5v4 as Muffin's looking for any opportunity. They know the back halls are taken here by SMG. The flash is there. Paulie will try to wait on it, but Shirazi yet again. Standard here from Shirazi. 3 already! And Ginny fighting on back. What else can Ginny do? It's Alexi Kohibi looking to reinforce one another. The swing comes and Kohibi from all the way across the map. She makes it just in time to get that last kill. This is match point now for SMG.
You can see here that with that wall being placed by Sapphire, it just, while it blocks off that back hole, it also made it so much more difficult for them to try and take it away. They had 3 players here, SMG, who were able to cross safely from that CT directly into the back hall, just reinforcing it, fortifying the hold. And if you're Fullsense Sapphire, you're going to have to commit a lot of utility to try and flush that out. Utility they could not afford to use or still had in their pocket at that point.
And SMG was so ready for that kind of contact. Always attuned, always knowing what's going to come their way. And SMG, they're dominating this map for good reason. Is this going to be the last round though, as SMG have had enough? The main push comes in not just duplicate, but triplicate. 3 members pushing here, trying to just have such a heavy-handed approach to get that orb. The Viper Spit now online for Shirazi as well. One to watch out for. 2 judges also interesting enough for SMG, looking to find close contact. Alexi though gets the intel, gets away though in time, backing towards the corner. The Trailblazer to cover her retreat. Alexi at the ready, and here we go yet again. Graded now, win an A again. It's Baby TZ fighting back at least. 2v2 though, Shirazi and Kohibi trying to look to finish this game off. But Paulie, Baby TZ have other plans. There's the plant. And here comes the lockdown as well. Fullsense just at the center. Looking to play Protector. Snake bites 2, stalling for time. So at least there's a bit of space for Fullsense to work with.
Also smart to use that Poison Orb, not just for the cross, but to keep him at bay, because there's a real chance that as soon as he plays that lockdown, they're going to push and try and be aggressive to destroy it in time, but buys him even more time to utilize here. Shirazi wall on up. Nanoswarm, she's tanking it, she's burning, she's melting, but they have to. Desperate measures here, and it's all going to go down in Fullsense's way. They hold on against SMG for now.
Yeah, they had the utility and they had the time to work with. Absolutely clutched up from Baby TZ. I believe if she didn't get that kill onto Alexi, didn't find that kind of opening, it would have been SMG in a better position to sniff him out and find him. Timeout now called. Wouldn't be surprised if this was still Fullsense Sapphire. Case in point, they have so much to work with. They have so many rounds rather to try and come back from. We see already that it always comes down to these moments where someone needs to step on up. And yet again, we go back to the fact that Sapphire, we don't expect this kind of outlook from them. We expect instead the coordination to give them the advantage early on.
It's going to be difficult to try and take the advantage here, and to do that, 7 rounds in a row of perfection from Fullsense Sapphire. As perceptive as they may be against an opponent like this, so how do you even make the right call when they are just so many steps ahead in a lot of these situations? Well, at least a timeout in this case for SMG is going to make things a lot more viable for Fullsense Sapphire. I believe this is their 2nd timeout, which means they've got no more moving forward. That's going to be very difficult to try and keep that pace up throughout this entire half, remainder at least of it. But you talked about Alexi. She's been having herself a field day. She's always been one of the strongest players in the scene in general.
Yeah, I just always remember that clutch on Lotus when she finished off Open 1 effectively all by herself. SMG, star-studded roster, looking yet again to take a map win under their belts. The Fullsense Sapphire are the only ones who have answered them all throughout this year. You look at that Swiss stage, they're the ones who took a map win away from SMG at the very least. Fullsense Sapphire now, Trailblazers there to lead the charge. Muffin though, exactly what they're looking for. And a bit more confidence here from Sapphire in their approach. Cameo next on the list. It's an eco round anyway for SMG, but Kohibi strikes back. Ginny now looking to contest. Same angle to play against. The rest of SMG though, following suit from the middle point of the map. Here comes Margot, and down she goes. 1 by 1. It's dangerous here for Fullsense. And for good measure, 2 courtesy of Shirazi. Alexi's there too. And one was good for Fullsense. It's gone from bad to worse. Baby TZ Needs to do it yet again for the squad. The Nano Swarm is there though, looking for the stall. Alexi Shirazi, a rifle at the ready. Shirazi not going the right way. Alexi finds the contact, and Baby TZ! That's her yet again, getting it done. The clutch comes for Fullsense Sapphire. Back to back from Baby TZ, really.
Big clutch here from Baby TZ. You can see her pre-firing already, knowing the swing was about to come. They're coming in from Poly. It just helps him lock things down so much more. Rather, Shirazi makes it a lot more, I guess, difficult to try and to get in between her shots. But more importantly, just the fight that you see here come from SMG, especially someone like Gohaibi, holding down there towards Art. Getting those two with the Sheriff. So treacherous these rounds are turning out to be for Fullsense.
And Baby TZ at least bailing out the team. It's a reason why I think our panel from the previous days have mentioned it extensively. Always that MVP, always that top frag. And as of right now, you can see past 2 rounds as impactful as can be.
Well, you want to talk about impact? This operator could create a dent, a crater even here in the standing of Fullsense Sapphire, at least in this series. Will they even be aware of it? They've got flashes to utilize, Trailblazer as well. Be a smart idea here. If they can anticipate it. Yep, that should give them the information. Let's Neri pushes Neri back rather.
I suggest you move.
Now they know the op is here and the reckoning there to try and put her off place.
At least the stuns and the intel giving space here for Fullsense to work with. Muffin already dashing forward. Looking to call the rest of the squad to get to position. A flank possible. Cameo still holding strong. It's Neri though on the board as well. And it all falls apart for Fullsense Sapphire. Yet again, it's impact here from Team SMG. And the shot rings through from Neri. Team SMG, they've set the bar so many times. And they raise it yet again with a commanding win. 13-6 to take the first map.
Well, I mean, Team SMG, there's a reason why everybody fears them right now. It's because of what they're able to do in these cases. And you see, even eco rounds of theirs are so hazardous to try and play against. They're always so potent, and they have just the immaculate awareness of where to go, and also the kind of like the state of mind of knowing how to play against rather their opposition, especially against an opposition that has taken them down in the past, and also just being aware of where the teammates are. You can really see that this team, it's kind of like there's a mesh between them. There's kind of string. If one moves a certain direction, a teammate's gonna follow because they're always there to back each other up.
Yeah, the red string of fate, and now it ties it all up really for SMG to get that sub. They have the advantage, and we're gonna go to our panel to at least tell us what went on in the map.
Thank you very much. What a game just now. I am losing my mind. Quack was losing his mind. While we did see a little bit of a tug toward the side of Fullsense Sapphire in the second half, again, as Quack told me so many times, it was just a little bit too late. The gap that has been made by SMG was just too much for them to catch up on.
Yeah, right? You end off the first half 9-3, and then you lose the pistol. It's really tough. They almost made a comeback. But that said, yes, too many rounds lost at the start. SMG with such a great lead. And again, kind of like how our casters were talking about as well, like Dax, Black, and Blue. SMG has such a good read on some of these plays, just knowing how to play off of Fullsense Sapphire's style.
Yeah, speaking about the style, I think it also comes with the idea of confidence. We saw Alexi right now with the MVP, and honestly, it's so well deserved. There are so many times where she's just not afraid to do these very ballsy plays. She pushes up toward Baby TZ's lockdown and just completely obliterates it, and even gets a pick on top of that. She's not afraid to push past high tides and just completely take up space and just challenge them, because she knows with her utility she's able to take those picks. But at the same time, we also have to look at Gohaibi, where she's able, and also Shirazi in fact, because they're able in eco rounds where you think that they're not able to make damage because they're gonna get gun diffed. Gohaibi and Shirazi lands every single headshot perfectly and does so much damage to the economy of Fullsense Sapphire.
It's actually literally quite freaking insane the way that you're describing it right now. I mean, just look at some of these stats. Tash, 15 first kills from SMG. 15. It's not like, you know, 9 or 8. It's 15.
Yeah.
And Fullsense Sapphire really tried to fight some of these. I mean, especially on the defensive side. Again, I come back to some of the ways that they held some positions. Margot in that one round where she held out B Link as a harbor. Ginny kind of playing around the corner on B Long. It works out sometimes. But then you have players like Alexi and the whole team who just continue to kind of play off of each other's contact, bulldoze through. I mean, you look at all of these kills and Alexi wins them based off of just sometimes quite literally sheer mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that round where, you know, she's playing an initiator, but she herself can anchor the site. We saw her playing dugout on A, and she was able to quietly move toward the back of site and get triple kills, and deny the plant on top of that before she goes down. Gives her team so much time to rotate over. And the way that she plays this is just not only just aggressive, but also in a way where she knows that she can abuse her utility to get those frags. One flash is all she needs, and then it's just straight up clean gunplay, getting her shots lined up properly, getting those headshots before she goes down. And I have to say, the damage per round as well is completely insane. Alexi, from a duelist to an initiator, she can do that damage, she can dish it out.
She's kind of like that pseudo duelist, if you will, right? I mean, again, you talked about her from the first half and when they were attacking, how confident she was and making use of her, you know, her birds as well. It's amazing how this team plays. You love some cute burbs here and there.
Yeah, we love the
I mean,
burbs.
honorable mention to Camille as well, because she had that one round, I think round 9, where she had a crazy play with the Reckoning to clutch it out for her team.
The ring around the rosy.
That was really fun to watch. Fullsense Sapphire, you know, I think they still have some gas in the tank for us. You know, Baby TZ still able to bring some rounds back from the brink, a couple of clutches here and there. We need more of that for the next map.
For real. And as we know, the next map will be the pick of Team Fullsense Sapphire. Let's see how they're gonna be doing this. But before that, we're gonna go for a quick break. When we come back, let's see if Fullsense Sapphire can bring this back. The Battle of the Titans. We have SMG versus Fullsense Sapphire here at the VCT Game Changers Asia Pacific Open 3. Tash Bunny alongside Quack. And this game, well, Pearl to be exact, has been nothing short of phenomenal. And I have a feeling that we're gonna be served with more surprises on the next one.
Oh my god. The fact that you brought that up, now I'm getting nervous, Tash. Why you gotta do this? The fact that SMG won Pearl in such a convincing fashion with, a strong first half, 9-3. They actually managed to keep their Pearl win record for this year relatively clean. They only lost it like once, and that's like, years ago, like 1 year ago, when Pro was still new.
Yeah.
But now on to the next map, right, Tash? Bind. I think this is one where we, well, statistically at least, see a lot more successes from Fullsense Sapphire.
Yeah, Fullsense Sapphire, I think the way they play this map has just been nothing short of, I would say, exciting. Because on defense, they know how to prepare for those attacks. They know how to control the chokes coming in from either B hookah or even B main or even A short or even Bath. Because this map is relatively, I would say, very tricky for attack because it's full of chokes. You have to be able to get past that full choke first to be able to get onto the site. And it doesn't really have like a mid site either to play. It's the teleporter. And now with the changes of the teleporter, I'm wondering what kind of adjustments have been done by Fullsense Sapphire to adapt to this.
I think it's just great. Seeing how they've already played it before, it's this double controller setup, first of all, and then using the Viper toxic screen to kind of extend your presence out from the teleporters, right? Blocking off showers, blocking off B-long. It's something that a lot of teams are starting to adapt, starting to adopt and pick up. So you want to bring out the double controller, but this also says to me that you need, again, that strong first half. I think that's the most important thing for Fullsense Sapphire, especially with the fact that they pick this map, SMG gets to pick the side, and if SMG gets to have their way with things, you're always gonna have a bad day.
Yeah, and looking at the picks here, it's gonna be defense for SMG going first. And I think for this map, it's still quite defender-sided because of those chokes. They have to find a different way to get onto site. Now, for what I've seen so far through different matches, explosive entries are the name of the game. Either you go for a raise, you just quickly satchel onto the site and quickly either take site or move toward I would say, either toward Bath or toward U-Haul. Or you're gonna go and explode through hookah straight to the back of site or toward elbow. And it's going to be wow. Baby TZ has one of the best Cypher plays I have seen. And I am excited to see how much control she can put on the site.
This is the thing, Tash.
Right.
All right, the last time these two teams played against each other on this map, Fullsense took it 13-8. And yes, it was this specific composition. So I can see why they're going with it again.
Right.
But SMG, Kohaibi, is pulling out the chamber.
I mean, we've seen her play the chamber, and her chamber is insane. How she times her lurks is phenomenal. We're gonna be seeing a lot of Baby TZ versus Kohaibi, in my opinion. Who's gonna time their lurks better? Who has better control? The Trips is gonna make sure that no one's gonna be flanking from behind.
Sure, but hold. The thing is, so far this year, their win record on this map, SMG, they've played it 5 times. They've lost once to Fullsense Sapphire, just once. So their win record for this year is still relatively safe. The only thing is they haven't really pulled out the chamber on this map so far. They did it last year, but that's a different meta.
Yes.
Now we're bringing it back. And you're on a chamber that, has had some balance changes, so it's a little bit more viable again.
Yeah.
Is she really just going with that confidence play, making sure that, okay, I'm going to be this pseudo-duelist sentinel, and I'm going to be able to lock Fullsense Sapphire out? That's what this says to me.
It does. And honestly, we've seen her performance on chamber, and I wouldn't be surprised if she is going to be popping hits. But at the same time, I really, really want to see how Camille handles this harbor on how exactly they take up the site. Again, double controller, so much control. On defense, it's very scary. Now, I'm just wondering how exactly Fullsense Sapphire is going to get as many points as they can on attack.
Yeah, right. And that's why it comes back down to we're gonna flip sides. You know, earlier on we were talking about Neri and Baby TZ. Now it's gonna be kind of maybe, you know, Kohibi or someone else, maybe Camus as the, you know, controller Harbor. But then you're gonna have to focus your eyes on a player like Muffin now. Muffin, you know, she's really capable. She's gotten a lot of good frags before, but as the sole duelist on this map, as a Jet, it's not going to be the easiest thing, especially if Kohibi's hitting shots. If Kohibi's just playing, you know, clay pigeon shooting in the air with you, you're going to have a bad time. I'm sorry. So Fullsense Sapphire, they really need to work together as a team, especially on the attacking sides. Go for some set executes. I need to see them set up Muffin for success.
Yeah, that's exactly what I want to see, because Fullsense Sapphire, they need to try and win this if they want to get a full, clear way to Grand Finals. And if not, it's going to be the lower bracket run for them. So let's have a look and see which team will be taking this. So gonna toss it over again to Dax and Black and Blue.
She forgot your name there, by the way, at the end. She flubbed it. I can't believe our host is also talking to us right now.
I'm gonna forget to put you on my will. That's what's gonna happen moving
There's
forward.
always a stare down between Black and Blue and Dash in between these transit. But have you seen this composition, Black and Blue? Let's get on topic.
Yeah.
And who let Team SMG cook? The Chamber is here, and if you've been watching Ascension, you know it's getting a bit more of that popularity. Now Team SMG looking to run with it as well, and it's Kohibi. She's on it, she's ready, and I really wonder what's the plan here for Team SMG right now.
Well, I like the change up here coming from SMG first and foremost. You know, Quack touched upon it a while ago in the panel where they did lose on Bind the last time they faced Sapphire, so they're trying something new. And while it might seem like just a confidence pick, one kind of underrated thing that people don't talk about a lot of times when it comes to having a chamber, especially when it's on the defensive side, is that when you're the attackers, now you're going to be pressured to having to clear out these angles a bit more thoroughly. Now you're going to burn utility early just to find out where that chamber is sometimes. You're going to burn that Trailblazer that you might have an op. You might be posted up somewhere. And I think that could be a problem here moving forward for Fullsense Sapphire under attack.
Yeah, Fullsense Sapphire, I think the biggest problem they had, especially in that first map, well, looking at the stats, 11 out of the 15 times they took a first death in their Pearl map, it was either Muffin or Baby TZ the victim. And we know that they're pretty much the pivot points of Fullsense Sapphire. They're some of their strongest players in terms of that kind of impact, and they need those two from front to back to perform to the level that they absolutely expect from them, not just in a few bursts of rounds, but all throughout the game. And it's a perfect map pick, honestly, for Fullsense Sapphire. This is a composition they're so accustomed to, and this is one of the maps they took away from Team SMG in the Grand Finals of Open 2. This is going to be exciting. Can Sapphire strike back and tie things up, or will Team SMG take it to another Grand Finals? We'll see very soon.
Well, final chance here for Fullsense to get themselves back into the series. 1-0. It currently stands in SMG's favor. And if you're SMG right now, you've got to be feeling good after a map win like that in Pearl, but they can't let complacency get the better of him here. Pride will be their biggest enemy, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. Not for these gals who have been keeping their eyes focused and not confusing the forest for the trees. Aggressive push coming from SMG here towards the sands. Maybe TZ to be contact.
Oh, there
He
you
gets
go,
taken down.
Neri. Stalled start to begin with, and yet again, proactive protocols from Team SMG, no matter the case. And Neri always leading that charge. Loves the pain shields now. The Guiding Light's gonna be there too. And sure, they've given up the site, but they have at least a pinch possible because of that hookup position. A wraparound also possible from Long as the teleport from Kohibi to get back in position and reinforce. Shirazi, she's the one technically in this situation. Solo lurking pseudo from the CT side. And Fullsense instead trying to find another outlook or another way out in the first place. Muffin on the board, he's gonna be there, 250 trades so far. And SMG so very quickly! I blinked and they're gone. They're done here with the round. The pistol won by the defense.
I'm out of stuff.
Quicker than even seemed to have started there once the fight did actually go its way. SMG, nicely done on the recovery. You can see them being proactive, pushing out towards that sands from the hookah, smoking them. And it all just came down crumbling for Fullsense Sapphire. Look at this, a judge now here for Inari.
Yeah, look at Team SMG though. Even though Fullsense Sapphire knew majority of SMG was right behind them, and you could see how they were positioned to try and contest towards long, maybe even to hook as well. It's just so quick from SMG to push back, to go for that retake, and in a snap, they're so solid at hitting those shots very quickly. And in all honesty, we've seen from Team SMG just kill after kill in quick succession. It's a big reason why many teams struggle to fight back because they don't even get the chance to do so.
Look at this, Kohaibi though. She wants a chance to fight here. Playing the angle. Headhunter in hand, at the ready. I'm gonna wager they're gonna make contact here first towards B, and then they continue on A. Flash will give them away though. But they actually continue on this trend. It's an area with a judge waiting up in hand, up in front, and it could have dire consequences. Look at this, Kohaibi still wanting to chime in on this fight. He's got an angle to do so anyways.
Yeah, Fullsense now reconvening towards A. And it's instead Kohaibi we have to watch out for. With the chamber adjustments, you can see the Lamp's position very strong for Kohaibi to get a pick and get the hell out if ever. Off screen getting set up as well. Trailblazers there too already. The rendezvous to get the hell out there. And Shirazi instead gonna be the point of contact. Muffin on the board though. Here comes Alexi. They don't expect a second player. And here we go yet again. Alexi attuned and always aggressive. Finally punished here by Paulie. Damage has been done though. 3v2 scenario. Sheriff still getting ready. Maybe a pre-fire here from Paulie. Lines it up. The headhunter shot though. Doesn't get the connection. Kohaibi just contesting as much as possible, but SMG, the rest of the roster, moving over from the APC side. Big from Paulie, but here comes Kohaibi again. Baby TZ with the overrun. And good damage done by Fullsense, but it's a round for SMG nonetheless.
Exactly right. Isn't the damage being done here by Fullsense just such a big point for them moving forward? This makes their bonus a lot more possible to convert, which we saw become a problem a while ago on Pearl, where SMG able to convert those bonuses. So getting economic damage early here is certainly gonna be one of the things that Fullsense Sapphire have to be able to do, because their eco rounds, a lot of times we don't see too much of a fight being put up when it's them on the eco, at least a while ago in Pearl. So if they can start to rectify at least that or improve upon that, it can really benefit them here for map 2.
Yeah, Team SMG, what do they have now to utilize? A few shotguns into play, a bit of aggression towards Cubby, but Fullsense Sapphire ready for this one yet again. Shirazi creeping, might get spotted by Margot early, but no! Shirazi finds a shot and finds the kill. A good start here for Team SMG. Might be even better if Kohaibi isn't spotted. Cleared though well by Baby TC. Good awareness so far on this push. As they move towards A, it's 4v4 for the time being. Shirazi still inside the lamps, but this side is for Fullsense to take so far.
Spike planted.
Got the spike flying down here.
Exactly where you are.
Obviously, Baby TZ just has the advantage in that case. The rest of them as well. Fullsense Sapphire playing off the benefit of their better weapons here. Alexi shows her the bigger boomstick.
Oh,
Gets the
another one!
follow-up as well. Jenny being taken down. It's a 2v2 now.
Security guard Alexi at your service. Just bringing in the Bucky and finding the two anyway. Beats the judge at its own game. Muffin and Paulie, they need to find these kills, and exactly that. Alexi finally falls. Camille the only one left inside the cove. Looks for the defuse. Cove's broken, but Camille breaks Muffin's face. 1v1 now. Paulie looking for the angle. There's the opportunity. The spray down's there. Doesn't get the connection. Halfway done, but can't get the other half there. Fullsense, they'll win the round, but this time around, it's SMG doing the damage against them.
Yeah, but it's so expensive right here for Fullsense, and obviously in the end there, Paulie taken down as well from the spike. Baby TZ having herself a great map, rather at least an opening part of this map so far. Neural Theft already secured early, but it's really Alexi who's just leading the charge there with the boomstick on towards lamps. That it makes it now a lot more ineffective here. Look, half armor.
And it's just crazy to think that you have Inari who's willing to go for that contact, but you also have Alexi who would do things no other woman would do here at the APAC Game Changer scene. Just the willingness to get that push going, to get that kind of value. And of course, SMG, sharp still. They have rifles to work with. Inari Only with the Guardian so far, but the default right now for Fullsense, they're wary of the SMG initial peak. Muffin might be in danger here because Kohaibi's at the ready. In and out so very quickly. That's one gone already.
That's why you picked the chamber, right? Get away scot-free, whether you hit the shot or not. It's a great shot here for Kohaibi to land and get them the early advantage. B site looking to be committed to. You can see here Inari and Alexi. Two of the biggest superstars we've got in the region. Pushing up forward. The Guardians peppering up Jenny here, who knows she's not going to get the better of that fight. In Fullsense, looking to pivot towards A instead.
Yeah, Baby TZ waiting for timing and opportunity, and Neri is her victim. At least the patience, Fullsense Sapphire bearing fruit. They go for the teleport play, but SMG, they're not pulled away from the angle. Still you have Camille, still you have Alexi, and here we go yet again. Alexi, aggressive as always. She's just prepared for any kind of first contact. Shirazi's there also to get on the board. It's 3v2 for now. The drop on in from Fullsense, but Alexi again and again, always at the ready. It's 3 now for SMG.
Nicely done here by SMG, especially spam on through from Shirazi connecting there on Hookah. Even though this is a good pick from Baby TZ, I'm not sure, did she have a cage still? Because she did. They could have used it to drop down safely from Hookah. But perhaps just it wasn't available, at least at the time. Fullsense Sapphire, another early timeout called here after the 4th round. But they're not doing too shabby just yet. Obviously, their plans were stopped coming out from Hookah on the TP. They could have committed towards A, and who knows how that might have turned out, considering the defense was playing a 2-2 split.
Well, defenses trust one another, though. They don't need to go for the rotation early. They know that they can anchor these kind of sites. And as of right now, advantage yet again created by Team SMG. One thing to look at this roster right now, Black and Blue, is how they've adjusted some of these roles. And personally, I feel like it works out better compared to their configuration last time around on Bind. You look back at the Grand Finals, it was roles that aren't as attuned as you'd expect. Kohaibi was on the Viper, you'd have Camille on the Sky. As of right now, this is looking better. You have the double control that came out from that Pearl map. Alexi still on the Sky right now. Kohaibi knows how to be very responsible to get these kind of picks. And even with SMG, as the defending champions, they're changing things up. They're setting the standard, raising it again and again. And as of right now, it's Fullsense Sapphire who needs to adjust to the adjustments of SMG.
Go get him.
Well, what is there to adjust right now, right on the attacking side? They just haven't been able to really secure control early on in the map. You can see here, SMG and the defense are really squeezing it away. But on the map here, rather on the round here, on this eco, it's going to be difficult. Easier said than done for sure to try and take that. They got Blades on the Muffin, a Sheriff on the Margot, and Baby TZ, but not much else. And if you're SMG right now, you know, the range, that's your biggest ally here. You can see them playing these long-range angles, not to be too committed into a position where they can't fall back.
And look who's watching B-Long this time around. It's Kohaibi. She wants to pick her too as the flash comes on in. As soon as she sees the guiding light, already a snap of the fingers, the rendezvous to get the hell out of there. And double dip though to get that first takedown. SMG now will have to deal with the Blade Storm, and Muffin does get the kill. Alexi's on board, but Muffin now! Exactly what they needed. Tough to play the entry, but she's doing all that hard work here. 3v3 scenario as the plant goes down. SMG going for the wall bangs. Could have been close there versus Muffin. Shirazi over onto the corner of elbow. The heals there too. And Neri Camille reinforcing from the CT side. And SMG right now looking for the opening. And Neri makes it happen. Busts open this door wide open. And well, Empress and Neri, you know she can do it all. 3 for Neri. And SMG now have a 3-round lead.
I mean, especially an eco like that. When it's an Airy, you gotta be wary. Because she can certainly turn things up and knock you all down. Fullsense. They at least get the plant here for Sapphire. But where's the fire from that? Where is the heat that we know they can bring to the table? You just haven't been seeing that yet. There'd be shades of it, glimpses, but not a full picture just yet.
Yeah, Fullsense Sapphire. Well, seems like it's a little dulled right now, the color of their play, and it's been such a problem with high-octane action brought together by SMG with very responsible picks and peaks. they're the ones who get the advantage out of these narrow passageways. As soon as someone like Kohaibi or Ineri gets the one, SMG backs on the way. That's enough for them to take advantage of the whole round.
I've got your
Case in
trail.
point, there's the splits, but we hear the Seekers instead. Ginny looking for the opening. Alexi will answer back with her own. Intel provided now for both sides, and it's a 1-for-1 trade still. And there you finding Poli Kohaibi too with the spray down. And Fullsense beyond the veil, they know danger is awaiting. Here comes the shot, and it's Alexi who strikes yet again. Kohaibi is there too. And SMG proactivity is key.
Let us see.
They're starting to build upon a lead here that might just be too insurmountable once more for Fullsense to come back into. And for them to start here on the favored side as well, even better. Wonders and questions about if they can turn, this composition to their favor, especially only pulling it out just now for relatively the first time as his core and on official record, but they have no problem at all, it seems, in trying to turn this round into theirs, or at least this game. The showstopper's available, but I don't think they're going to start to use that just yet. And you can see here once more, Trailblazer burnt. They know that chamber is going to be a threat always towards Showers.
Yeah, and now they're trying to go for the double up and have a bit of firepower to get that kill early on. And Cameo instead is the target. Muffin gets one. Kohaibi still holding strong. Here comes Baby TZ. And maybe a breath of life here for Fullsense. Sapphire suffocated quickly by SMG. It's an eco round anyway. And then Neri, of course, eradicates as per usual. SMG now. It's the lead we've been talking about, Black and Blue, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
Increasing incrementally here. And SMG just no fear at all. Look at this. Even in that fight, Kohaibi, she gets the one and still just stays out in the open. She knows she's got the advantage there. Obviously, as the chamber, the rendezvous, big thing in those type of fights. Extended as well. And when you're in that position, it can be very difficult for Fullsense to snap out of it. They know that SMG are playing with full confidence right now.
Absolutely, and you've seen how their anti-ecos work. Full send at the ready to receive. And it's some of the quickest anti-ecos we've seen all throughout the tournament. So SMG right now, absolutely in control. Kohaibi on the inside of the pit, waiting for anyone to cross from the market. Perhaps take them by gunpoint. Take whatever groceries they have here. Margot now might be in trouble, especially if she decides to wade in it. Shirazi looking on the other side of the corner, and you can feel the pressure towards Fullsense Sapphire. The waiting game, courtesy of Team SMG. The rotation too, slowly but surely coming in. And as utility might actually get triggered, it might be the go signal here for Fullsense Sapphire. The kill from Ginny, there you go. Kohaibi, timing perfect, and that's the spike down. Here comes Baby TZ though, holding out the angle. That's 2 for her. Shirazi on the board. Problem is here for Fullsense Sapphire, they need to go into the pit to get that spike.
2v3. Kohaibi, she's got the tour de force here. She chooses to use it, but with a Viper's Pit like this, it might be difficult to try and press the issue. Moving on forward, Viper's Pit for Viper's Pit. They cross into one another's.
They have to.
It's no man's land right now. Shirazi good on the double. The triple now goes her way. Ginny on the swing, and Kohaibi shuts her down. SMG still hold on.
They were at a disadvantage, but such a big pick by Kohaibi. We were waiting for the action to unfold onto the pit. And as soon as SMG showed that presence onto the market side, that was the go signal for Fullsense Sapphire. You understand the push. But Kohaibi lying in wait yet again. Ultimate opportunist, and she finds the priority target of the spike. Given that inside the pit, it's so difficult for Fullsense Sapphire. They even tried to go with their own Viper's Pit, like you mentioned, to try and get a bit of that vision somewhere closer to the spike, but no dice, no chance. And it's SMG again.
Well, they tried poison for poison. Play fire with fire.
Not very effective.
Not the best answer. They both find out why you'd get burnt there. Trailblazer out. That's lots of utility here. Being burnt off of the attacking side from Fullsense. Kohaibi gets one in the area, obviously off the showstopper as well. It just changes the channel, the tune here that Fullsense are wanting to play.
Yeah, just no look even. Lets it rip as soon as she got intel from Alexi. Hits enough to get that kill. Maybe TZ though, she's good for one, but that's all she gets. 4v2 already. And here we go yet again. And Neri sitting pretty over onto the garden. Ginny and Muffin looking to find a way in as they creep on forward. And Neri, well, this is her domain. And she's just sitting on her throne by this point. 4 kills on the board. And it's 8 now for SMG.
I mean, everybody knows the name in area right now if you're even somewhat familiar of APAC Game Changers. She has established herself as one of the most premier players we have in the scene as a whole. And it's because of rounds like that where she can just change the game, change the round, steer the direction of the flow of the match towards the SMG's way, because she's been doing it forever. And a lot of times, back in that former roster of hers on AE, she'd typically be the second in, the innie. But now with her being the main duelist, the one up front, the one to take that first contact, she is still delivering under any circumstance.
Absolutely, and you can see so much confidence right now for SMG. We've said it before and we'll say it again. Star-studded roster, shining oh so bright. Kohibi, Shirazi, a roll call so far here on the A side. Kohibi gets a third. Quick throw to find the forts. And SMG again, so clean and so good so far.
This is looking painful for Fullsense Sapphire, especially after the performances we saw from Sapphire a few days ago, right? And throughout this past week, they looked like a real threat, a real challenge here towards SMG, but we're just not seeing that yet right now. It's a little bit of both. SMG are just really good, they're on point, but Sapphire also just aren't as well, and it's a bad day to have a bad day.
Of course, and especially against the matchup you have been preparing for. We all knew coming into open number 3, Fullsense Sapphire, there was only one target that they had in their sights, and it's Team SMG. You see the path of Fullsense Sapphire over the upper bracket, the biggest contenders that they had to deal with elsewhere. Beating Orangutan X 2-0, beating Araku Kaguya 2-0, so they're truly the contenders right now to the crown of SMG. But here we go again. More mortals to gods from what we've seen so far in this kind of performance. SMG, a different level of play. Perhaps though, Fullsense Sapphire, a round that they can win. Ultimate's bound, rifles ready too. Seekers out though, to begin at least find that intel towards A.
Backside hit, as he talked about Dax coming out here. They know backside is being occupied. Cammy off the spam. He gets the one here in a Ginny. Paulie trying to look for more of the same. That's a trade there. They got the neural theft online, but not in range to pop it just yet. Margot gets the one. Here comes the neural theft. And now they have information where things are going, which is the B site this time. But Kohibi, she's waiting here towards this B long, but she's gonna be found out.
I don't know if I saw that properly, but a bit of a smile from Kohibi because suddenly, oh, I've been spotted. Stellar neural theft there from Baby TZ. Good heads up, and Fullsense Sapphire have been working well with the intel provided by her so far on the Cypher. Shirazi though, waiting now for opportunity. Kohibi still sticking around towards the Octagon especially. But Margot, she might be that first contact inside the tin can so far. Shirazi and Neri now moving their way towards the side. Slow walk to get the crawl kill. And then Neri again. 2 for her already. So quickly destroyed here by Team SMG. No chance and no angle to play from. SMG preach clear and get the dub.
They are making a statement out of this.
Last round before the
Whatever former empresses, rulers, royalty of Game Changers last year, crown bearers for Fullsense Sapphire were, what is that to a usurper? Someone to overtake the throne. SMG, they've been taking kingdom by kingdom these past opens, but they're looking to take the crown at the end of the year. And what a pace they are on to do it here. 10-1 in a matchup that was promised to be the most competitive one possibly. It's looking like a one-way show for SMG, or just reaping the benefits of all their hard work.
SMG are the scriptwriters right now. Director, producer, and also starring them as well. This is their show, and it's up to Fullsense to try and upstage them. Muffin now with the dash on in, but Kohibi still gets the kill. Kohibi cameo! Connection after connection from SMG! They hold it down, and in flawless fashion, they do it yet again. What a half from SMG, 11-1, utter domination.
But isn't that the thing about Fullsense? We saw that last year as well. Sapphire, right? When they were still X10 Sapphire. They're like a rocket ship. You can go completely high, up into the stratosphere, up into space even, farther than anybody has ever gone. We saw that when they made that run for champs. But they can also have these inconsistencies where it just blows up, and that is where things become difficult. But what's been completely easy is working with these two nice fellows on our panel.
Wow! I want to talk about strats, but like half the time it's a Neri walking up to the tin can with just pure good aim. I want to talk about like strats. Oh, look at this hole, and then so Kohaibi getting 2 picks with just headshots and just teleporting away. Like I don't know where to begin.
That's the whole breakdown. That's the whole thing. that was about it. I mean, I don't know, Black and Blue. I don't know if you're a nice panelist. This game, it's a very nice one for SMG. That's how much we could say. I mean, if you look at the stats right now, Kohaibi's up by 19 kills. 1-9. 3 deaths only.
Yeah.
Just do the math. I don't know what that KD is, but do the math.
I can't math. I can't math, but all I can say is, when you think that Muffin is online, getting 2%, oh my god, finally Muffin's back, and then suddenly Neri just walks up and equalizes everyone. Or
Dude.
like suddenly you think, oh my god, they have a Viper's Pit. They put their own Viper's Pit and they win in it. And
That's
I'm just
the thing.
like, how?
And Tash, the score is 11-1. It truly, if Fullsense Sapphire cannot pick up the pistol, it's Jover. It's Jover. We're done.
Yeah,
That's all I got.
That's all I got as well. But hopefully we might be able to see a comeback because we want to see Fullsense Sapphire rise to the top as well. So let's go back to you guys, Dax and Black and Blue. You guys are nice too, I guess.
You know, I'd give it to you, Tash. Our panelists apparently very people shy about everything going on.
No!
There. She requested it before the broadcast. I gave it to her after what you just said to them.
I know we're broadcasting this on Twitch, but do you have to Twitch talk right now?
I gave her the one. That was it. You know, I
That's
give you the
because
one.
you've got the check mark.
Listen. I give you the one usually. I gave her the one. And Fullsense only has 1 round so far.
You
See
should
the
give me
pivot
the
there?
one. I'm the one.
You are the one. You are the
I
one.
am the one.
With. Okay, you're funny. But no laughing matter. Fullsense Sapphire, Quack mentioned it, must win on the pistol or else this is all over.
You lose this, you go down to the lower bracket. Certainly a path that we've seen from them in the past to come back into, but not one I'm sure they want to retrek. Not one they want to take in this case as well. In SMG. With that contact actually being made here towards B, that defense will be kept there, which just leaves A side a bit more prone to being overrun. But there are 3 defenders here. I could help their case on out. Polly, oh no, she's taking a beating here towards short as the fight begins.
Yeah, 3 HP already, and Neri though leading the charge as per usual. Kohaibi there too, Headhunter at the ready, anyone she finds, she's gonna look for that quick headshot. The Cascade though into play, the high tide finding cover as well. Here comes the cross, but Marco at the ready, Alexi's there too, and then Neri now wading through, and Neri again! As per usual, standard set here by SMG, and then Neri, Alexi also chipping in as per usual. And the dismantling of Fullsense Sapphire is so clear. The site taken now by SMG.
It's just so heartbreaking for Fullsense Sapphire, who you can tell they just don't have that fire in them for this game. A great opening start here from Ginny. She gets the one. Okay. All is not lost just yet. She can isolate these fights. Crossfire though, Shirazi gets a tag! That's the 3rd here on Shirazi. She knows where she is in Neri. The superstar herself. It's not planned for her. The swing here, and Ginny makes it happen! Holds on with a 4K to save the day for the meantime. And Fullsense Sapphire steal the pistol away.
2 HP and the dream still alive for Fullsense Sapphire. Ginny, the leader of this roster, gives them the hope, the prayer, and the answer. Isolates those duels and maybe sometimes that's a problem for Team SMG. Confidence there all throughout. They just wanted to get that final kill, and bit by bit, Ginny would find them. You still have to be careful, Team SMG. Fullsense Sapphire is a squad to be respected.
Well, especially with individual plays like that, but is that kind of what we saw akin to on Pearl? Like, the only rounds they would win are when you'd have a big individual pop-off performance from them. And their individuality is certainly not to be questioned, but it's about how they play as a team that has been a big problem for them this map specifically, in this series too.
Yeah, Fullsense though. Now they have a bit of confidence, some hope brought out by Ginny. And from that point on, Marco will make two. Alexi though swings and hits Cammy also with a helping hand, but Paulie hanging back, waiting for the high tide to recede, and from that point on, it will be her drowning the opposition. That's two from Paulie. Alexi fights back. 3v2 scenario now, advantage here for Fullsense. They have the guns as well, but suddenly the Seekers are into play. Alexi making do with the ultimate, looking to give the advantage, and here you go again with Alexi. 4 already to fight on back. Alexi looking for a target, looking for opportunity. The tap is there from Muffin though. Muffin creeping on closer and closer to the corner, and Muffin has the angle. Fullsense again, weather the storm and survive.
Well, that's certainly one way to do it here. Bring it close. SMG, so formidable. And a threat that has to be respected. Alexi, 4K for her. For Team SMG with the SMG in her hands.
Just magnificent though from Alexi. She got 4 kills, she got the Seekers along the way, gave a chance there to Team SMG. So close to getting the ace. But Fullsense Sapphire, they understand how to play these isolated duels. That's one thing they've been good at all throughout this series. It's been sporadic on the rounds, yes, but just the micro decisions coming down to clutch situations, giving them at least a few rounds on the board. Rifles, though, here from SMG. That was already a great eco states from that second round. Bonus here, more so a buy, honestly, for Fullsense. Ginny contesting first and foremost, but Shirazi starts things off strong. Paulie falls, and that's the pick Team SMG wants to work from.
Well, it's not a great start for sure for Fullsense. Lose the opening pick. They got Seekers though to kind of sniff out where SMG are going to be coming. Sole defender on the side. That leaves Margot with a mere bulldog, and it's not the most favorite option here when you're in this type of position. Paint shells as well for Inari still open, so she can nade out that lamps and they can take control of the rest of the site without having to worry about Margot for a quick moment. And now SMG, they realize, rather at Fullsense, they realize it. No Seekers here towards B. It has to be an A-side hit.
Smoke's down.
It's already confirmed as Margot hears them coming. Barreling down now, courtesy of Inari leading the charge yet again, and Inari gets 2. One more time, so much value. Kohaibi also ready at the moment's notice. And suddenly, we're back to familiar territory here for Ginny. 1v4 yet again. Can't you find those isolated duels? This time around, Shirazi marks it and finds it quickly. Match point, series point here for SMG.
Point.
Yeah, not this time. Not again. SMG shall not allow it. Fullsense Sapphire, look at the buy here, if you can even call it that. Bucky's to come out, the sole vandal from Baby TZ. Not even a single player at double digits just yet here for Fullsense Sapphire. And the other end, very top heavy right now from SMG. Inari, Kohaibi, and Alexi absolutely having themselves a field day here. Padding things up, and yeah, they call a timeout.
Is this the first timeout from Team SMG? I think so, right?
In the whole tournament?
I don't know about that. We're kind of busy casting the other stream, but this series alone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
should be.
Well,
There it is.
21 kills from Inari.
What do you think they're
What's
talking about?
new? How to win. Just how to... I think this is still a timeout that they kind of need. They just can't collapse like what happened during the pistol, right? They need to be still careful of what Fullsense Sapphire and what angles they can take. But just this series alone, it's already a statement. You'd think that Fullsense Sapphire, they worked so hard in Open 2 to make it so competitive against Team SMG. It was a 3-2 grand finals at the very end. But right now, here in Open 3, SMG looking to just run away with it as much as possible. They've been the standard all throughout the year. Everyone's looking up on them. But it just gets stronger and stronger. It gets better and better. And the SMG way looking to stand strong one more time in one more series.
One last chance here to try and steer things back to a better way, to another day. Lower bracket awaits them. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. You can see Margot trying to challenge, but it's not the best angle for her to try and challenge in the first place. Here comes out the hit right now. You got the molly. Oh, you can see Margot trying to be wary of where an area might be. That pain shell is going to force her back in the corner.
Yeah, Space made already an SMG. This countdown is towards their victory. Polly Muffin, Bucky's in hand. Fullsense Sapphire, they need to get up close just to get value. Trailblazer though, spotting out the Neri towards the corner now. Finds the first showstopper. Here it comes!
Whoa,
Muffin
well
dodging
done.
it so far. Baby Teasy on the board. Fullsense Sapphire, at least fighting, striking, but a Neri again! Getting another kill. SMG though, they have the numbers and they have the victory already. Commanding yet again. 3 times good for it. They're going back to the grand finals.
And they won so hard, they just are frozen in time. Just stuck from even moving. Just, I guess, surprised at how things have gone, but I think we're surprised as well that it went that far in their favor. We were expecting, you know, possibly a 3-map series, but perhaps Copium, Fullsense Sapphire saving strats for the grand finals? Maybe? No.
So.
I mean,
I
there's
think
no just about this.
Yo, I think it's really just Team SMG bringing even more stratagems to the table, especially new looks on Pearl, new look on Bind, and of course the same old SMG dominance.
Yep.
What a series for Team SMG. Yet again, they put themselves in a position to win the whole thing. But of course, there's still the grand finals tomorrow, and there's still the panel to break down what happened there in the series.
Thank you very much, Dax and Black and Blue. What a game it was for SMG. I mean, because how the heck did it become that dominant? I was expecting it to be a little bit more of a tug of war, perhaps a power spike on defense for SMG and a power spike for defense for Fullsense Sapphire, but clearly on both sides of the room, again, it's such a big gap already set by SMG. It was almost hard for FSS to even chase, and on top of that, I mean, yeah, we saw hero plays by Ginny, but what more can you do?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that really is the question, right? You end the first half 11-1. It's already really difficult. But it's great that Fullsense Sapphire did not back down. They didn't give up. They kept trying to find some of these rounds, expose as much of SMG as possible so that they can learn as much as possible. That pistol round from Ginny was great.
It was amazing.
At the end of the whole thing, I mean, first of all, really curious about that timeout at round 16 because SMG were already at match point. So
yeah.
I wonder what that was about. But for the rest of the whole game, I mean, the first half was just so darn good. 21 kills on Kohaibi, and Neri with like 23. I mean, so much of it was just them finding frags in some of these plays, and I feel that quite a bit of it was mental. I mean, surely the confidence, but also when your opponents are doing that well and you're playing from the POV of Fullsense Sapphire, I mean, just imagine how you feel, you know?
Yeah. Definitely high pressure for sure. Coming back to your question about the timeout, I believe we had an interview with Aneri a few days ago, and we asked her, like, you know, you guys had a little bit of a timeout at this certain time. Why did you guys do that? And the other day she told us that they were a little bit too excited, so they needed a timeout. So, and I asked her, like, are you guys excited because you guys are feeling confident? And she was like, oh no, it was just literally because we were so excited to play. So, you know, I think in the end of the day, I think they understood that, you know, sometimes they want to prevent an overheat from happening or giving too many rounds in a row. I think this is a good call. Regardless, MVP for Neri, not surprised. again, she just puts in the numbers. She just walks up to all these angles, and because she's so confident, she's able to get so many multi-frags. I want to talk strats so bad, but in the end of the day, it wasn't really about strats. It was just pure aim, honestly. And the only thing I can say on defense for SMG was they were so confident to the point that they were playing in front of B main or A main, ready to fight them in those chokes. So that's how confident they are.
You definitely saw it. I still remember round 10. It was like an anti-eco round. Kohibi almost got an ace. So you kind of expect SMG to be confident because it's anti-eco, right? But the fact that Kohibi was still able to, first of all, not just play that up close to like A short and A main, she was flicking, getting spray transfers as a chamber. And sometimes playing that deep into A cubby with an op, I mean, sure, you have to rendezvous, but that is confidence.
But for now, speaking of confidence, I really want to ask SMG themselves, what exactly makes them confident? Kamayu is online. Let's have a little chat with her, shall we? Oh, it's Kamayu and Alexi. We got a 2-for-1 deal here. Hi, ladies. How are you guys feeling?
Hello.
I mean, that was a very dominant sort of win. How do you feel about that?
How do we feel? You first. What are you feeling, ah? You're so very hot earlier. Yeah, I'm feeling good.
That's it. That's all I have to say. I'm just feeling good. Not like I'm super excited or like.
I'm so excited. Being the bait, you know. Oh my god, I love my team.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see that. How you guys hang out, how you guys play together. It's definitely something to behold.
Yeah, I mean, you know, first of all, you guys had such a strong first half, but apart from that, also, Kamiyu had a really great clutch today on Pearl with the Harper ult. Yeah. Maybe talk to us like through some of your thought process in that moment. You know, playing to defend a spike. How did you? What were you thinking?
My mind was like, you know, the speedrun meme, the something like that. That was on my mind. I'm like, okay, what do I do? Panic.
Okay. Slight panic, but still play so well. They're so good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I really wanted to ask you guys on Bind just now during the second half, the first round after the second half. You mean Ginny did a 1v4?
Bro,
What happened?
pop off. Oh my god, it's a miscom actually from Alexi. It's like, okay, I'm gonna move here, then we're gonna crossfire, then suddenly she got one tap, then they got all one tap. Princess Alexi, by the way.
Princess Alexi, definitely indeed. I'm so happy to see you guys. I know that you guys are not in boot camp right now, so I'm at least glad to see that some of you guys are together. And you know, you guys did share with me that you guys will be boot camping again at the gaming house in September, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'll see you guys soon, and I hope that Shirazi is feeling better. Bye, guys.
Bye bye, thank you. GG.
Oh, they're so
that's
cute.
so nice. Yeah,
They're so
you got
cute.
finger hearts.
Yeah, they got finger hearts, and you can definitely see, you know, the bond that they have to play together. Like, even on the day where Shirazi wasn't playing and Tara had to stand in for Shirazi, Shirazi was there with them to provide moral support. So, you know, love to see that for them.
I mean, that's it, you know, sometimes still getting overexcited, sometimes maybe a little bit of miscommunication from Alexi. No, I'm kidding. I mean, they are still so incredibly good.
Yeah,
and
they are.
It just, I might be like overcooking here, but I'm just thinking, you know, this team, if they make it through, if they make it past Elite, and then you play against, you know, the greats like G2 goes in version 1 from NA, oh, that will be fun to watch.
I am definitely looking forward to that. But you know what else we're looking forward to? The second series of the day. So do not go anywhere, everyone, because after this match, it's gonna be a good one, because after that, it's gonna be a decider. See you later.
something bad last night. Can't you hear what I'm saying? One gunshot. Someone else didn't care about your life last night, at least less than about his. All our dreams were shot to death last night. I see the clock stand still. Nightmares at your heart sometimes, but this is unbelievable. One gunshot.